For those of you who don't know what is happening to Twitter, let's get started on that. A mass exodus, that's what.
At Twitter, where there appears to be some kind of a mass exodus of workers who are rejecting Elon Musk's ultimatum to work extremely hardcore, which he defined simply as long hours at high intensity. But how many hours and how highly intense? What does that mean? Well, no one knows, but a lot of employees apparently didn't care to wait to find out, and they just said goodbye. CNN senior media reporter Oliver Darcy is here with more. Oliver, there's a lot happening, seems every other day at Twitter. A mass exodus now appears to be underway, and they're rejecting that 5 p.m. deadline of today, that ultimatum.
Elon Musk is such a bad boss that he actually created like organized labor action in a company that does not have labor unions. Do you understand? Like, he is a historically bad capitalist. This is a point that I have not seen yet addressed. Can you imagine being so bad as a fucking capital owner that you end up causing your workforce to quite literally engage in organized mass labor action without the infrastructure necessary to be able to do so? Like, that's not something that happens usually. This kind of stuff, it takes a while. You got to set up a labor union. You got to fucking, like, there is no overnight revolutionary action. That's not a thing that happens, right? This motherfucker made it happen on Twitter. Like, people were like, fuck this, I'm done. Like, absolutely not. This is so fucking awful. This is so disastrous. I don't want to be a part of it.
And now I hear they're closing their office buildings. Why? What do you hear from people inside of Twitter?
Yeah, it really feels like Twitter is taking its last gasp here. I mean, if you look on Twitter right now, the top trend worldwide is RIP Twitter. And that's because scores of employees have seemingly resigned from Twitter, rejecting Elon Musk's ultimatum. Let's take viewers back. Musk earlier this week gave Twitter workers, the people who are remaining after those mass layoffs earlier this month, he gave them a choice, work quote unquote hardcore or leave the company with 3 months of severance. It seems like a large amount of people have decided to leave the company. They don't want to work hardcore, and that's thrown the future of this platform into utter chaos. I've been talking to people all day. One former executive who recently exited told me that with all these departures, it's going to be hard just to keep the lights on over there. And so now with all these departures, the people who are remaining, the management has suspended badge access into Twitter's offices, presumably because they're afraid that employees who are technically no longer employed at Twitter could potentially sabotage things. I'll read you the statement or the email they sent to staffers. It says, effective immediately, we are temporarily closing our office buildings and all badge access will be suspended. Offices will reopen on Monday, November 21st. And it goes on to say, we look forward to working with you on Twitter's future. But as you can see, just mass disarray has gripped this company here.
I mean, you say this and talk about the lights coming on. I think to myself, what about security? What about who's guarding the hen house? Who's ensuring that it even operates and functions in any meaningful way? But there's also this moment, because we're talking about this hardcore intensity. He seemed to soften his stance, Oliver, on getting rid of remote work just earlier today. It's just the latest, backtrack in his plans. And so, I mean, I wonder how this whiplash is really landing and affecting people who are still at Twitter, still employed, maybe waiting until Monday to figure out if their badge will work again.
Everyone is confused. That's the short answer. And I was told earlier today that management was really
offering 3 months salary versus hardcore work right before the holidays. What a true visionary. Yeah, no. Brilliant stuff.
Worried that they weren't going to be able to retain talent. They were really, I think it was becoming clear that a lot of employees were actually just going to leave Twitter altogether. And so some sources told me that they were scrambling, trying to get people to stay. And Elon Musk seemed to recognize that. I'll read you part of a note he sent to the entire company.
Wait. New Twitter policy is freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. Negative hate tweets will be max deboosted and demonetized, so no ads or other revenue to Twitter. You won't find the tweet unless you specifically seek it out, which is no different from the rest of the internet. Dog, this is literally... Wait, what? He just said... Bro, he literally said he's doing the exact same thing. He's doing the exact same thing that Twitter was doing. That's hilarious. Yo. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. I love that. Dude, that is... Did I fuck up? Is there a typo? God damn it, dude. Fuck you. Fuck you. Deleted. Okay. 37K people saw it. That's a negative tweet. No one will see it. Well, 37,000 people saw it. I wonder if that will. I wonder if that's something that people won't see. Other than that, though, you know. Bold visionary Elon Musk invents shadow banning. You know what I mean? He's like, that's the person that had Grimes on. I'm going to delist their tweets. Yeah, I mean, dude, ultimately, that is what's going to happen. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, surprisingly. But I do assume that is what happens. Also, a lot of workers at Twitter have HB1 visas tied to Twitter specifically, which means they will have to leave the U.S. if they don't stay at Twitter. So those people will be forced to work under Elon's shitty work conditions. Yes, he is abusing the HB1 visa workers right now. Yes. They have to withstand whatever condition Elon puts in front of them because if they don't do that, then they get ripped away. Kathy Griffith, Jordan Peterson. What the fuck? How is he? Jordan Peterson. Babylon Bee have been reinstated. Trump decision has not yet been made. Note, this applies to the individual tweet, not the whole account. And Elon also said no to bringing back Alex Jones. And people are fucking mad about this. People are very upset about this. Anyway, we'll talk about all this shit in a brief moment. Let's finish this video, though.
When he softened his stance on remote work, he said earlier today, where is it? I had it here. Regarding remote work, all that is required for approval is that your manager take responsibility for ensuring that you are making an excellent contribution. What? And he went on to explain that basically people could work remotely if...
What the fuck is this? Is this another like leftist that wants to get Silicon Valley money? Antonio Garcia Martinez. What Elon is doing is a revolt by entrepreneurial capital against the professional managerial class regime that otherwise everywhere dominates, including and especially large tech companies. And that same PMC, which includes the media, is treating it as an act of lèse-majesté. In Burnham's formulation, this new managerial class would supplant the former business-owning bourgeois and even capital itself as the elite ruling class. Most woke labor scandals in tech are an entitled middle management class at odds with founders. Elon's simply defenestrating the entire HR regime, the ESG grifters, the Skittles hair people with mouse-clicking jobs who think themselves bold social crusaders rather than a parasitic weight around any organization's neck is an intolerable overturning of the social order. I think these dudes need lobotomies, okay? It's just not going to... You will never be able to save yourself. You will never, this guy is not seeing the pearly gates, okay? You're going to hell. You need a lobotomy. I don't know what to tell you. Just put the phone down and find God, okay? Find Allah right now. May Allah awaken your mind and your soul, okay? You have an NFT PFP, which is already a major L. I suspect that he bought this as well, or maybe he's a government guy. Yeah, no, he's a notable in government, whatever. Okay. I love crypto bros like this. I hope you lose every single fucking fiat currency you have. Okay? Every single piece of fiat currency you have, I hope you fucking lose it. You gigantic fucking loser. Oh my God. That hurt my brain. That hurt my soul. I'm worse off reading that. And I think you guys are worse off reading that as well. The idea that These guys are like, you can hate the PMC, the professional managerial class, all you want. It's like it's like the funniest way that these guys who want to be like new age reactionaries operate. Na ba baba. Selam. Okay. The new age reactionaries love hiding or coding, or hiding their fucking reactionary perspective. Like they don't want to come across like an old school reactionary. They want to be like new. I'm new. I got an edgy take on this sort of thing. I'm gonna use leftist language when I'm talking about this sort of thing, right? And it's like, no, man, just be racist. Like you don't have to be a pussy about it. You're never going to appeal to a guy. There was a tweet that I saw from a HasanAbi head who like lives in Wisconsin or something. Okay. And she was tweeting out, she's like, all these working class whisperers with like liberal arts degrees that live in Brooklyn don't realize that, like, you know, in the Midwest, like people are still going to call you the F word. Like you are not a masculine macho man. And underneath it, someone else was replying to her saying something like, yeah, it was so shocking to me when I found out after I left, North Dakota or whatever, that that like when men wear cardigans, that doesn't mean that they're gay. Okay? Which I think is hilarious. Like that tweet itself is fucking awesome. Newsweek doing the same thing, calling Twitter employees the laptop class. Yeah, I don't care. Okay? Like this is yet another way of mystifying class analysis. It is inherently reactionary. It is inherently anti-Marxist. I don't give a fuck what these dickheads try to say. Just say they're gay, okay? I say it all the time as a joke. You want to say it seriously? Just say they're gay. Be like, Twitter employees are homosexuals and I don't like them. Because that's what you're trying to say. Let's be real, the skittle-haired professional manager class. Just say it. Just say the F word, dog. We know what you're trying to say. Like, nobody looks at this tweet and goes, how bold and insightful, okay? It's the biggest fucking losers that look at this and go, oh, I want to say the F word without saying it, okay? Yeah, a lot of people that live in like, liberal safe havens, okay? They come across as like comfortable. They come across as whiny, but you are too. At least I know what I am, okay? I know I'm a fucking fancy lad, okay? I'm a dandy boy. I like dressing up. I like painting my fucking nails. Ultimately, I'm masculine enough or comfortable with my sexuality enough that I don't give a fuck. I don't have to go against the grain and try to fucking fight back against my incredibly pussified liberal coding, I guess, in the way that you're trying to by appealing to this like false intellectual reactionary that no longer exists, okay? That's the point. That is the inherent contradiction too. Because like a lot of these guys, okay, with the fucking beer bellies and the lifted F-150s that actually do say the F word when talking about fucking Twitter employees or whatever, okay, they're also pussies who are terrified of the fucking cities. They're like, oh man, I would never go into a city, brother. What the fuck do you mean? There's violent crime there. It's like, yeah, dude, well, okay, well, what do you have to say about all those fucking liberal homosexuals living in those cities then? Okay? They're living in this hotbed of crime. How does that work? Wouldn't you say they're more brave then than you are? He said revolt by entrepreneurial capital. It's like, dude, you are literally running defense for one of the biggest fucking failures. Like one of the biggest, most demonstrable fail sons of our time. Okay? I absolutely despise when people do this shit. When they're like, Twitch is lowering the salaries of their streamers. Well, they're overpaid anyway. It's like, yeah, bro, you're a fucking idiot though. You understand that? You're literally defending Amazon making that decision in that circumstance. Just like when you say the professional managerial class are like woke overlords trying to ruin companies or whatever, you're unironically defending Elon Musk. Okay? Bro, that dude went to Berkeley. People in the Midwest would definitely call him the F word. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you went to Berkeley, dog. Shut the fuck up. You have a fucking PFP with a goddamn NFT on it, okay? Weird take on racists, on the racists not going to the city. Anyway, everyone on Twitter is a labor aristocrat. We love our phones, our tweets, and our media. Exactly. At least I recognize my position, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, I recognize what I am. These people also, in a weird way, recognize it, but they're so embarrassed by it, you know? They have this, like, mythological labor guy that they fantasize about with, like, these fucking pectorals. They wear hard hats, and they, you know, they're racist, they're bigoted. Like, I want to fucking, I'm that guy, you know? And they constantly, it's the same energy as the fucking dumb guy who's just famous for posting on Twitter that has like a fucking cushy media job at The Blaze, turning around and talking about like guys who work on oil rigs and being like, this is what labor used to look like. It's like, bro, but you're not that. Okay? If you're on Twitter and you're posting on Twitter, you're not that. Okay? You don't want to be that either. You're not that. You're not him. You're not fucking working in the oil rig. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Those guys will look at you and go, you're gay. Okay? You're a gay man. That's what they would say. Actually, they probably wouldn't. The irony is that like a lot of those dudes are probably more open-minded now than half of these motherfuckers who are literally trying to just be like, the only way to be working class is by being fucking, bigoted, as bigoted as you possibly could be. You're missing the mark. Anyway, what Elon is doing is a revolt by entrepreneurial capital against the professional management class. Jeet here, billionaires are the rebels, workers are the ruling class. I have a big brain. Tech employees living in incredible privilege are workers. I have a big brain who's never worked at a tech company, nor apparently read Burnham. James Burnham, the CIA consultant who worked on Operation Paperclip and urged the use of biological and chemical weapons in Vietnam. That Burnham, his managerial revolution was effectively refuted by C. Wright Mills decades ago. Boom, blammo, blocked. Now, here's the thing. Okay? The real reason why you have disdain for the fucking people that are working at Twitter is because you want to suck and fuck billionaires because you're a bootlicker, okay? Just say that. Just be like, I want to suck Elon's cock. I want to suck him dry, okay? I want all of his little cummies. Please, Daddy Elon. That's why you're doing it. You are peasant-brained, okay? You are not him. You are not the billionaire overlord, okay? You desperately want to be, but you can't. So you think maybe if I behave and be a good little boy for Daddy will notice me. And the reality is Elon Musk might, because he's fucking permanently online. Okay? I actually worked a gravel mine and got fired for telling them to stop calling the singular one black person the N-word. This was in Michigan. I mean, yeah, it happens. The related Ben Home Depot Shabibo learned to weld. Using the gay Twitter app to signal to other dandy lads how masked they are. It's just like, dude, what are you talking about? You're like, what do you mean? Everybody knows you, man. People know what you're like, you know? This is the thing that fucking pisses me off. Like, I'm a dandy lad, okay? I like dressing up. I like wearing accessories. I like painting my nails sometimes. And motherfuckers look at that and go, yeah, no, actually, that's because you're a lib. That's you're gay, actually. You're not masculine or whatever. It's like, no, man, I enjoy my shit. Also, I do know how to weld, for the record. I actually do know how to weld. I have a fucking welding machine in my goddamn house. In my house. Shouts out to fucking Marat for that reason. But anyway, that's besides the point. But you know what I am. I don't hide it. I don't try to like fucking, I don't feel the need to just like overcompensate, you know? I like what I like. I enjoy being comfortable, okay? These are things that I enjoy. He did not delete the tweet. There's no way. It's just Twitter is fucking broken right now. So, like, you're trying to signal to the other people on this fucking dumb app that you are somehow different. Like, you're so masked. Be proud, okay? Be proud of your dandy lad ways. Who cares? Who fucking cares? We're hitting Zoomer territory. What is this? There is no fucking way. This dude got slimed? That's insane. Okay. Anyway, I'm the same way. Sometimes I paint my nails, get oat milk lattes, and have a nose piercing, and everyone in my life just assumes I'm bi. It's just like... Motherfucker went from learn to code to learn to weld, by the way, which is a completely new take, which I love. This is the dude telling us to weld. Yeah. That's the guy. Hold on. I'm going to post that underneath my fucking tweet as well. Why did he buy this for? What was the reason he bought this again? Like, what was there was an aesthetics reason for this, right? There was an aesthetic reason for why he purchased this single plank of wood. Home Depot wasn't being woke or something. Yeah, it's just so fucking stupid. The disdain I have for these fucking absolute idiots is at an all-time high, and I feel like Elon Musk's behavior on the timeline has unironically made these fucking losers way more unhinged than they used to be. Like, they have, for some weird reason, the worse Elon gets, the more his like sycophantic capitalism defenders, the more they like hold on. They're like the hodlers. They're like the holders at the end of a fucking shitcoin falling apart. They're literally holding the goddamn bag. Okay, they are the bag holders in this circumstance, and they're still holding on, even though it's like your worth is zero now. Okay, it's zero. Worst part, you're never gonna be him. You're not the fucking big brilliant capital owner. You're just a guy who's posting on Twitter. Okay. But yeah, this is great. It's great. An honest day of work equals a liberal's worst nightmare. It's like, oh man, being the worst boss of all time, amounting to like organically manifesting organized labor action without any sort of organizational infrastructure. That's actually really good. Why is it good? Because we fucking own the libs. We own the libs super hard. And here's the version of that. Banks in 1929. Well, look at how many people want to visit our banks right now. That is it's just the same shit. Like I said, these guys have no way of recognizing These guys have no way of fucking recognizing when someone is like failing because they can't see what's in front of their eyes. Okay, they don't have any way of conducting decent analysis on whatever the fuck is in front of their eyes. You could be getting hit in the fucking face with a pan, and ultimately you're like, well, I'm still owning the libs though. What should Twitter do next? Bring back Alex Jones? No. So basically the same old Twitter, free speech unless we don't like it. So you aren't for free speech. Got it. Yeah, their idiotic fucking fan base is like coming to terms with that. We will be watching the Jabri Elon Musk video, but here, let's read this first. What Elon Musk is doing to Twitter is a very good illustration of why the existence of billionaires is a threat to democracy. For better or worse, Twitter is essential communication infrastructure for hundreds of millions of people. It's a verification system, RIP, made it a trusted means of communications for governments, the media, and civil society around the world. Twitter has always been a most democratic platform, allowing for marginalized groups to communicate with the powerful without the mediation of Facebook's algorithm. The dismantling of Twitter is a blow to democracy. It should not have been possible with this kind of wanton destruction. I mean, yes and no. Like, people will find a way. Not the only platform. What is happening right now? Yeah, I know Elon Musk lied about his education. We're gonna look at that as well. Okay, here we'll get to that in a second. But I want to see. I want to look at more threads on why Twitter is doomed on Twitter. Ironically, I've seen a lot of people asking why does Twitter think it's why do people think Twitter is doomed? As an SRE and a systems admin for 10 plus years in industry experience, I wanted to write up a few scenarios that are real threats to the integrity of the bird site over the coming weeks. For context, I've seen some variant of every one of these problems pose a serious threat to a billion user application. I've even caused a couple of the more technical ones. I've been involved in triaging or even fixing more. Random hard drive fills up. You have no idea how common it is for a single host box to cause cascading failures across systems, even well-engineered fault-tolerant ones with active maintenance. Where's the box? What's filling it up? Who will figure that out? Physical issue with the network takes down a DC. I gather Twitter is primarily on-prem, and I've seen what happens when a tree knocks out a critical fiber line during a big news event. This has literally happened on Twitch. Okay? There have been instances where, like, not just Twitch, but servers, like servers will, or data centers, or, servers will catch on fire or some shit. You know what I mean? An accident happens at a server. All of a sudden, the platform's going down. That sort of stuff is hard to fix. That sort of stuff is really hard to fix if you don't have employees to fix it. Okay? Bad code push takes the site down. Preventing this was my day job, and I can't tell you it's one of the scariest scenarios on any SRE team. Bad code push takes the site down in a way that also fucks up the ability to push new code. It's the absolute nightmare scenario. This stuff is like really fucking... It's a little too nerdy, this thread. I care not about the infrastructure, both the physical infrastructure or like the coding, but instead what kind of like vulnerabilities could be exploited and what kind of implications that could have, okay, on your private information being accessed. Database is fucked. It's a big one. Everything's on fire. Who's the expert for this one? Someone say entirely hypothetically, they find a security vulnerability in your iOS app. You need to fast track a fix. Stat. You have a team of experts who know how to navigate Apple's Kafka-esque bureaucracy for app updates, right? I sure hope you do. Someone notices that it's possible to read anyone else's DMs by loading a particular URL. This is a Sev1 massive all hands on deck critical issue. You need people who understand deeply how your privacy abstractions work and how to fix them. The site goes dark at 4 a.m. The on-calls have no idea what's wrong. You need an incident manager on call who knows how to wake up, why, and how. Who to wake up, why, and how. Someone who understands your systems can synthesize information at lightning speed and coordinate a recovery effort. The system you use to find other systems internally goes down. None of your systems can talk to each other. The site and all of your tools immediately fail. The tools you need to revert the breaking change are all fucked. Can you figure this out? Can you figure this one out with a skeleton team? It's 5 p.m. on Friday. The dashboards go red all at once. The web fleet is seeing cascading reboots. The disks have been filling up since Wednesday. There were hundreds of code changes across multiple interlocking systems on Wednesday. Revert any of them at your own risk. The amount of politician DMs that could be leaked from this and the potential implications that has is unimaginable to me. But for some reason, people don't see that. A user in the Philippines is about to post CEI onto the platform. You cannot leave that content up. What is CEI? Is it CP? Oh, child exploitation images. Okay. You cannot leave that content up. Do you have your employees with the relationships with PH law enforcement? Do you have your content moderation systems working? Do you have your moderators? Okay. The FBI wants to inspect the contents of the DMs of someone they think is about to commit 9/11-2 atomic boogaloo. Do you have a system to grant them access? Do you refuse them access? How do you know it's really them? You grant them access. Now someone from a country known for horrific human rights violations is knocking. They have an official-looking subpoena. Do you let them see a dissident's DMs? Can you articulate why? You might need to in a very official court somewhere in Europe. Another country is telling you that they want all of your data on your users stored in the servers in their country. Do you have policy experts for that country? Do you have a lot of very motivated lawyers? Do you have an infra engineer who knows how to partition your data just so? GDPR, you're found in violation. It took a team of hundreds of engineers, lawyers, policy experts, designers, and managers, and months of hardcore engineering to be in compliance in the first place. Can you get that back? I can assure you, not doing so will cost more than an org's headcount. Like, this is a multi-billion-dollar platform with billions of users on it, okay? People do not understand how complicated this shit is to comply with international authorities. That is just one of the 7 million different issues, complications that will arise. And that is what we all foresaw ahead of time. It's not like I'm a fucking smarty pants. I don't understand half the shit this guy's talking about. Okay? But even in areas that I'm a little bit more knowledgeable on, I could fucking tell you with a certainty that the way that Elon Musk was operating the platform and trying to fucking rip apart the actual workforce, the actual labor force of Twitter, was going to lead to catastrophic meltdown-inducing results. The service you use to discover other services working fine, but one of your best engineers does some calculations and realizes it won't scale to more users and more services, and hypothetically you want to build a super app called X. Do you rewrite? What do? You decide to rewrite. 8 months later, your new systems is ready to take on its first users. Who's coordinating the migration? Do they really understand complex systems? You just hired a great seeming engineering director from Microsoft for a core org. Slowly, their org's productivity slows, and their attrition climbs way up. The director swears everything is fine. If you fire the director, one of your VPs suddenly has like 18 reports. What do you do? I mean, there is like a million other ways, but genocide. This is, okay, let's get to some of the other stuff. Genocide. People use your platform to orchestrate mass murder, the machetes and the churches kind. And fast. Lightning fucking fast. You need to be prepared before. If you don't have a team who knows how to detect and stop this ASAP, your ass is getting dragged to The Hague. That's not going to happen because he's a billionaire. Let's be real. He's above the law, just like Mark Zuckerberg was. He literally said, oopsie. This already happened. There's an example of this that already happened on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg was unironically implicated in the genocide of Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar. Okay? Mark Zuckerberg was implicated. Facebook was implicated for WhatsApp and the lack of moderation happening on Meta-owned platforms, okay, that unironically was seen to have a tangible, long-lasting effect on the genocide that was occurring. He didn't go to jail. He just said, oopsie, sorry for aiding your genocide. That's real. Rebellion. Millions of people use your platform to orchestrate rebellions against their government. Do you use the tools to stop them? Do you let it ride? How do you decide? What if you let it ride and the same thing happens next week in a country you really like? So, there are a lot of issues, a lot of complications that will arise. I'm not going to get through all of them. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is completely unable to deal with any of those things. It is mind-boggling that he is trying to run this as a singular force because he is pissing off every single person that runs the goddamn fucking things that need to be working at all times. New email from Elon to the engineering team. This came out at 9 a.m. this morning from Zoe Schiffer. Anyone who can actually write software, please report to the 10th floor at 2 p.m. today. Before doing so, please email me a bullet point summary of what your code commits have achieved in the past 6 months. Elon Musk is also asking for up to 10 screenshots of the most salient lines of codes from Twitter engineers. Again, what? Again, no context as to what this is about. We know Twitter's engineering teams have been gutted by layoffs and resignations. What's next? Yesterday, Twitter told employees the offices were closed and badge access was suspended until Monday. Employees are extremely confused. In an email for remote Twitter engineers, Elon Musk says he wants to speak to people on video. Only those who cannot physically get to Twitter HQ are excused. But if possible, I would encourage you to fly to San Francisco present in person. He'll be at office until midnight. What? There is no fucking way this is real. This isn't a test in competency. This is a test in loyalty where he wants to see who will blindly follow orders. The irony on many levels shouldn't be lost that many of the compliant folks will be H-1B visa holders who just want to stay in the country. I mean, that is kind of wild. That, I mean, not even kind of wild. That's incredibly wild. I don't even know what the fuck to say to that. Like, what the hell is going on? It's just like he's already gutted the fucking staff. These are people that are the most desperate, right? I just don't understand. I work in tech, and I honestly think all Elon stuff shows most people don't understand how software is made. It's like saying the most important part of construction is the foundation and not the architecture or planning. Well, it's also like a building, you kind of build it, and there's compliance, and there are, inspections that need to be done on it, but it's not the same as like an active website. Imagine if you build the building, okay, and then you have to constantly keep building it, like all the time. Literally nonstop. And there's constantly people coming into the building and out of the building, and you literally have to build the roads and make sure that the new fucking rooms and the new corridors are working all perfectly in unison. It is not like it is not like a building in that regard, because the building is, as the chatter pointed out, the building is moving around, okay, all the time. And there's issues. There's so much maintenance. And people are climbing the walls. People are trying to push through or pull a door. The back wall isn't put together. The storefront is. Yeah, it's wild. The building is moving around at all times, and it's on fire all the time as well. It's just not an easy. It is an impossibly difficult fucking thing to manage, especially in the way that Elon is trying to manage it into the fucking ground. I don't know what to say. It's not just a website with a few dudes typing code, Lamau. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. People don't understand it. I visited Twitter in college for the CS club stuff, and the engineer said their worst day was during the World Cup. Site constantly went down. Guess what's going on right now? Yeah. I did see the projector on Twitter headquarters last night. Yes. Someone posted this Elon Musk, supreme parasite, petulant, pimple, apartheid profiteer, yada yada yada. That's what they did on Twitter headquarters. I know. He's owned. He's so fucking owned. I know. Not that it matters. Elon, after telling visa holders to work more, or do you think Elon's trying to bankrupt Twitter on purpose so he clears the debt he has from taking a bad deal? I don't know how that works, man. I don't think that's how that works. Oh, yeah, ew. Don't show me Kyle Rittenhouse ever again.